Welcome to 541 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll tell you that this is the first trading day of the month of September, the last month of the third quarter 2025, and also the first trading day of the week. At the same time, we are seeing that the month of August has ended almost flat here in Nigeria. But then look at what happened in the matured economy or the matured market, let's put it that way. I'll tell you that looking at the matured market, most of the market are opening the last trading month of the quarter on a mixed direction right now. Most of this market was seeing the position manager index for from most of them, but I'll tell you that this morning most of this market are in the red. And let's start from as usual the Asia market. Asia market, most of the market in Asia, I speak now, Asia market are dropped this morning. Apart from Hong Kong and China that were seeing a little, stop looking up a little because of what the recent private survey showing that China and Hong Kong were seeing that the factory activities, business activities also rebounding as we speak. But others are following the trend of Friday Wall Street activities as we speak. There are many high-tech companies or tech sectors. We are seeing that most of them are underperforming as we speak now, prompting the sell-off in most of these regional markets, which is also affecting this Asia, tech link equity as we speak. But investors remain cautious ahead of upcoming US labor and also macroeconomic data alongside the ongoing tariff and also tariff-related uncertainty as we are seeing legal move, or legal suit here and there. This are also what is influencing the market as we speak in Asia. But I'll tell you that that's Japan market as we speak has sliding toward into red right away, about 2% down at this early hour of trading, in Tokyo. Okay, so as we speak, down way down by a decline in all these heavy weight exporters and tech related names that are pulling down this market as we speak now. These are the things to watch, which we also note. But like I said, even South Korea was seeing that South Korea is also down by 0.8% as we speak. It's the time we are seeing that most of this market, and also look at the broader Japan market, it's also in the red as we speak. Even last week we saw that even some of the activities last week and also for the month ended, we're seeing that yes, those trends are what we're seeing coming up now. Even as we speak now, Singapore and Singapore remain unchanged. While that of India market, they are if the Nifty 50 has gained 0.4 right now. I think that's the market also. Australia down is also down. Australia market is also down by 0.7 as we speak. But like I mentioned earlier, that the private survey on that was to show that China factory activities expanded at the fastest pace in 5 months in the August, using China, using the US-China trade war also in that environment. But I believe that as more activities or more direction come from this China and US trade agreement, on that also will be a clear direction of what to be expecting in that that regard. But good thing is that officially you can see that showing that for 5 consecutive contracts we have seen, for this also a good one for that environment. Because also we look at also some of the major indices in the China market, most of them are changed, while few are also in green. Like these are the things that is happening already. I've mentioned already. Hong Kong is already up by 2%, which I've told you earlier. But if you go back to what is happening in Europe market remain mixed. As all eyes are seeing what is the next move. People are watching what the market will look like ahead of this September policy meeting, and also the policy meeting, and that also EU ECB also be meeting, and also Bank of England. All these are factors that are shaping that what to be the expectation. Like I told you earlier, that legal battle rage over war tariff, and also all eyes are still on board on job report to kind of complement what the Fed chairman has discussed in regard for rate hike, in this rate cut, sorry, in this month of this month of September, that will also give a clear direction of what we expect. Like I said that this morning, U.S. market is on holiday because of a Labor Day, but see, a lot of activity is still there. But I'll say that the market is closed for a Labor Day today in that environment. We might not see much from there because today is a public holiday in that. But still, I think that there's still the expectation that as we'll see more data after the holiday, that will also give a clear direction on what we're having. Consequently, I believe that this being the first trading week of September, also as all eyes are still on fresh market data, analysts are also suggesting that the figures would also be almost a cement in expectation of of Fed Reserve, direction in terms of rate cut in the coming policy meeting. These are the things that will also shape the market in the week. And also, now that the market there is in holiday, but I believe that the Hong Kong shares, like the e-commerce, was saying that they also inching up this one, like the double digital strike was saying, for me, it's a good one. And this is the kind of the one they saw themselves in 2022, thanks to what to the prospect, positive prospect I was expecting in that in terms of all these are the things that is shaping the market as we speak. Like I said earlier, that the share market, were missed. I told you the reason why it was missed. Also, we believe that that we're looking to Africa to see how Africa market is also performing. We believe that the Africa market has maintained a positive trend even at this last trading month of the quarter. We see that most of these markets are missed in Africa, but good ones that none of them are in such rate that is strong at this hour. Despite the missed trend, we can see that in Nigeria NGX market, as we speak now, the market is open slightly in the green, but speaking that it's almost flat, looking the other way, slightly. But I'll tell you that the market still remain strong here as we speak at a strong support level, and this like a double top, a double bottom we're seeing now. You can see it here in the market. We're not seeing more volume at this hour as the person are still waiting to watch and see, especially as the all eyes are on the three dividend paying banks that are yet to release their earnings to the market to confirm if these banks will be paying three dividend. But I'll tell you that after the forbearance move or notification, CBN also came out to say that yes, most of these banks have meet what they expected. I believe that if that is done and if that is correct, we expect these banks to also pay with the board. I'll tell you that this time CBN is delayed. Before now, the early finals of this dividend come in the month of August. But right as we speak now, even today, the 1st of September, we have not seen. I believe that within this week, I'm going to the month we expect to see the dividend come and dividend. Because most of the banks, about 8 of them, almost 9, have met the CBN requirement in terms of capitalization, which is good news. Let's see how they go. Allow these banks to reward their shareholders that have increased their faith in this one by giving them additional money to recapitalize after CBN have denied them not to use their retained earnings to recapitalize. This shows that the investors, the public has confidence in this bank, and that also should kind of give CBN incentive to allow this bank to reward their shareholder for putting much faith and also putting money in them. But let's wait and see if this banks three dividend will change the narrative in the market. Let's wait and see as we go. But also don't forget that this is the last month for the quarter where we see a minute of missed trend. Why? As all eyes are still as the month is ending, we get to see third quarter that will usher in the real historic move we're expecting to come in the last quarter of the year. We have seen our movement in this just few 3 months, 4 months in the year between after the month of April, we are seeing May, June, July, even August, right before this pullback was saying for me it's part of the market. When market pullback, in the market gather more strength to continue an uptrend. That means as market trying to kind of consolidate at this stage and kind of form a double bottom, which also make a key technical sign that we're going to see an up market if anything contrary does not come at this point. But I believe that the sentiment in the market is saying that yes, investors and traders are looking at this point. Market has gotten to where it's supposed to to go up. We're going to that 140,000 level or several line is also adding as a strong support level for the market. Now for me, it's a good one as we speak. We'll come back to look at the market data of state of the market. I look at the market is I'll tell the market is marginally low as we speak, down by around 0.6, let's say 65, 65, sorry, 75.2% basic point, representing around the 0.04 or 5. That is what the market is. Now, for me, it's not a totally bad one. But we are not seeing volume at this time. It shows that all eyes are on the market. People are sitting on the fence to watch. That's why we are not seeing volume now. But I believe that when we start seeing numbers or come and trigger this, and also more coming later, as all eyes also are still on the preliminary index for the month of August to give decide whether the business expanded or business private top sectors or private business in the economy. We want to see all those coming to also. Don't forget that this is also the same month of MPC meeting. That will after this we are seeing the last one for the year come November this year. Let's keep our finger crossed as to speak. But looking at the market, I think the market is slightly flat, or would I say negative, but flat as we speak now. Looking at where the market is now, you can just see for yourself that the market is relatively flat as we speak. For me, it's not a bad one. Looking at the market in that eye, the market trying to also find its direction as we speak right away, and that gives investor confidence that if market is forming a double bottom at this point in this level, and if we see the earnings coming also to beat expectation, and that also give the market an uptrend. To speak now, market is being 140,180.88. That means market is down by 114.6, representing 0.08 as to speak. Good one, but for me, if we are at this point, it's a turnaround for this first day, and I've said it even in the last class that the last class we had over the weekend, that the month of September is a very nice month. After we are seeing some changes in the month of August and all those stuff. August and September, take the issue of the market has always been a month that the investors or the traders have to trade with caution because of what the dicey nature of this month in terms of performance. Yes, good one. Market breadth remain as we speak now slightly positive. We're having 20 gainers and 18 losers at this hour in the market. For me, it's not a bad one. We're having this kind of change in the market, and that also extend the marginal gain we saw in the month of August. But let's keep our eyes and see how these figures or this kind of stuff that are gaining. We can see that most of them are local stocks that are dominating the gainer chart right now. But let's see how the market will end at the end of the day. But good news that investors should not keep their eyes away from the market. Since you are already in the market, pay attention to what is happening there. So that will help you also to understand that the market also moves in phases. And once you understand the market moves in phases, to help you to read where the market is going also. As we speak now, I think that Square is also leading the gainer chart now with almost 9.8%. And also Zenith Bank is also trying to reframe and also come up again at almost 67.952% of assets is also. And seeing now this and also can say NASCOM also coming up to back to 19 naira, and also RD also in that regard. But on the local chart, we're seeing that internal oil is also down by 10% straight. 10.34 naira leading the laggard in the market. We're seeing also UPDC in that regard. Even the equity REIT also we're seeing WAPCO and Ella Lake. All these are now for Wando and what is weighing down the market right now as we speak. But there's no cause for alarm. Let's keep our finger crossed. As today, we'll be looking at what will also drive the market at this point. What I mean that looking at how you can easily filter the noise in the market. How do you do that? You also ask yourself, if I want to filter the noise in the market, what is the best way to go to filter this noise in the market? And I'll tell you that the best way to go to filter noise is for you to understand how to work, how to use multiple time frames for profitable trading on the NGX. You need to, like I just said, the month just ended. You want to see what is the direction on a smaller time frame, on a longer time frame, and see where the market is going. All this help you to make informed investment decision anytime, any day. And because it is very, very important, you must pay attention to this. Are you doing either top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach in your analysis? The higher the time frame, you're able to identify the overall trend in the market Also the shorter day that on the shorter move, you're able to set up what the pattern is, what is the next move in the market, especially as you're looking at to see when to exit and when to what to enter the market. That's why using long term, medium and short term will all help you to what to make informed decision, help you also to that noise in the market is filtered out, and also you can now point opportunity by what looking at this different time frame. You can go with a daily, that some people that look at daily, and also if you're a daily trader, daily is also good for you, but you need smaller time frame if you're a daily trader. And like I said in one of this class, I think in this platform again, now that for a daily trader, you are interested in looking at 5 minutes chart, looking at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes, and also look at the 1 hour chart. Then you can now look at the 4 hours, especially if you're a daily trader, to look at how the market is going, and that is how it should work. And that's why this time frame, because we have the shorter or the medium, shorter or the lower time frame, you must also pay attention to it, because it helps you to balance and also manage and know your risk to reward ratio that is also good for you as a trader. While the medium can bring up, like I said, 4 hours to 1 hour is good for you if you are looking at a medium pattern of trading, or you want to do a setup to know that the area where the price might also reverse or more rather also break out. That's why you must pay attention to all this medium or short term. Like I said, for the lower one on the short term, like 15 to 15 minutes to 5 to 30 minutes. What we are talking about, maybe are talking about 4 hours to 1 hour, and then the longer time frame can be talking of depending on kind of week, the 2 week to more monthly chart to give you an insight what is happening in that market. And quickly now today, as we are discussing this, we need to pay attention why this is very very important for us to identify the trend in the market, to set up or to look at the setup and refine your entry and your work and your entry. That's why we are using them. And the only way that the time frame and also the trend, when they align, they always give you a quick signal where the market. That's why a higher time frame tend to work, improve your work trading odds for you to see the risk about the why. Also, in that regard, as you are focusing in this high thing, you're also paying attention that patient and also understanding market structure is also very, very important, so that you know where the time frame is suited. At the end, where is the area of support and the demand? That support and demand, area of supply and demand, support and the resistance. You must know all these things, and that is why as you are looking at the area of supply and demand or support and the resistance, which also become very critical for you to understand that these two they might coincide, but rather you need to know, is it a breakout or a breakdown, and what is the volume. Like most times, if you're looking at time frame, you are using others, technical tools to confirm where you want to go from there. And that's why you must pay attention to multiple time frame. For example, if you look at this chart one, looking at here, if you look at this chart here, you understand that yes, there is need for you to know that there is where the chart is coming from and where it's also heading for. And for that, you pay attention to know that yes, using the 4 hours, 60 minutes, 15 minutes time frame, all these are different for you to know different momentum in the market. And that's why the benefit of using these time frames, multiple time frames, is that they give you different perspective and view of the current market situation, of the trend, and it also enable you to spot the upcoming support and resistance area in the market. For example, looking at this candlestick now already here, if I come with the let's go back to call the indicators here. Let's call the indicators here. It's very very important. Let's go back to our yeah. We use here MACD, we use money flow exponential here. Yeah, you can see these are what we use for our discussion. But in terms of time frame, we need to also come back and let you know where to also take your time frame. Yeah, just the month just ended. This is the fourth trading day of the month of then. For your time frame, you can come here and look at here. You see time frame here. Let's look at what the month of the stock have done on a monthly time frame. You can see that looking at the chart pattern of the month now. You can see that when you see this sign in technical analysis, that is a monthly chart. You can see that the index rallied up before sellers pulled it down, and that's why in the month of August we witnessed sell off, portfolio rebalancing, profit taking, all this mean sentiment at the end in credit and close flat, almost like a 0.30%. But if you look at all that, you can see that we have a good volume here. If you look at this volume, and we have at the down market, you saw that there's a volume here, higher than the month that the market rally excessively. You can see the month of July. You can see that more volume, but MACD is still positive, and the money flow is almost 78 based on your monthly time frame. And because you want to figure out noise, you move it toward a weekly time frame to see how the market on a weekly time, the same pattern of resistance decline, almost a double quarter was seen here and here. You can see it here. Once the market also, the good thing is that all these stocks, all this market was saying the momentum is above the T line. That the market is relatively strong on weekly chart and monthly chart. And then if you look at also your money flow is reading almost 86 on the weekly chart, and also MACD is still positive, despite that the histogram here is also kind of descending down here, like it's descending down, moving downward. So you can see here until you cross this signal line here, you now have a bearish here, MACD. But now we're having a bullish MACD on the weekly chart. You can see that this time frame is trying to make things easier for you to read. Then we have seen the monthly, and then we now do a daily chart. Daily chart also give a position. This is the daily chart. On daily chart, the market seems to be weak. You can see here, but still forming a double bottom that we mentioned earlier. Look at it, but trading below what the T line, which is the blue line. Once it breaks out, this type of an up trend. But one thing you look at it, look at money flow. Money flow has been down, but this morning, even though the market is marginally down, I think that money flow is trying to resist after it has gone below, almost below 20, or there before coming up again. You can see it touched as low as almost 18. Now within almost 20. Good one. If you look at this MACD on a daily chart, it's also ascending gradually. You can see that this histogram is coming up. Once come up here and cross, that's where this blue one crossing the red one up, that confirm an uptrend again. But what I said, if you remember that at the time, look at the volume that is bringing the mind. Then this volume is relatively small. We need to watch, but the volume that brought the market up is high. That means this volume is still in the market. We are not seeing going out. That's it, people are still holding to watch. That's why you're seeing that the market throughout the uptrend, that most of the day market was trading above its average traded volume. But now market is trading below its average traded volume. But we're seeing that various funds is entering gradually in the market on a daily chart now. While on a weekly and a monthly, we're seeing a strong market there. And these are the things that we should consider. As I was saying, that the benefit of using multiple time frame. Yes, I mentioned that the multiple time frame helps you or enables you to spot the upcoming support and resistance areas. Then also it also helps you to spot trend change. Earlier. We have seen all this what was there. You can even go back and say, okay, you want to do for 1 hour chart here. You can see it here, 1 hour chart. You can see that 1 hour chart market is still, we're looking at it still below it. But MACD is already giving sign that if this blue and cross sign, that will confirm a positive of MACD. And money flow try to recover but stay flat now, and that is for a 1 hour. That if you quickly want to look at all that time frame, suppose you look at 30 minutes time frame, what is market doing? You can see the same pattern. But you can see that on what you can see, the market is still coming up. See, on 30 minutes, money flow is looking up. It's almost costing that once it crosses, but here it's also marginally below the T line. Also, the market is still looking at the index and the T line that we use for our analysis because it's still below the T line. Then the next one I keep that it also help you, help you to enter or exit a trade as as early as possible. If you want to enter into signal, that's why time frame is very, very important. If you want to exit also to help you to then also it help these time frames help you also to confirm the trend change in a higher time frame. And also when you see that now we are seeing a change in a shorter time frame, we can also help you to confirm the trend change in a higher time frame, also that will help you to make sure. It also allows investors to know what other market participants are thinking. You see it, that's why you use it also with candle to see how they are perform, what is the psychology of people in the market. It also allows the traders, investors, or market player to see the small picture, the middle picture, or small picture, maybe, and also the big picture of the market because of your different time frame. And you must pay attention to this time frame because it will help you to make what informed investment decision. But Or if you look at those stocks also that are top gainers and losers, but because of our time, we can see whether we're able to look at any top gainers or losers right now, so that we'll now move in that regard, in that direction. That as traders and investors, we also guide us on what to do and what not to do. Once we're able to know to do that, we will help you to make what informed decision. Like I said earlier, that we are seeing that low cap stocks are the one dominating the market. We want to see the winners and the losers, that what is the momentum right now, so that it will help you as a trader to know exactly the area to. I mentioned earlier that the Stoker is the world leading. We are seeing the insurance also rebounding now up now. Universal Insurance, Senate Bank is almost gaining 2 naira, 1 naira 94. We're seeing all these ones are the gainers that I've seen like CWG coming back above 6 naira now on the gainer side. But let's quickly look at these stocks that we don't mention now. Let's quickly look at the Zenith Bank because of our time. Because no time now, let's look at Zenith Bank to see what the stock is doing right now. Zenith Bank on 30 minutes, we want to quickly look at the day chart for the stock. We go inside. But then you can see that look at this chart. Zenith Bank has tested the T line this morning. On this day, you can see a breakout of the performance trend. But MACD is giving us that this stock is about, you can see where it's ascending here. Once across, that's a good sign. And money flow pull back, and it's going up to the 36. Any above 50 here will give you a good sign. And this for daily chart. But look at Zenith Bank on the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, Zenith Bank has crossed the T line, but still trading flat on it. You can see it here. For me, it's a good one. MACD is already giving us a sign, and also but here you can see that it's flat to begin with 18 forward for a 1 hour chart. This is the state of Zenith Bank. And let's look at one other stock, CWG. To speak now, let's see CWG. For me, it's also a stock that we keep our eyes on. You can see on the 1 hour chart, it's almost slightly below the T line here. For MACD also, you can see where it's going to cross. This is a 1 hour chart I'm looking at. Look at where it is, almost around 18. Then you look at a day chart for the stock. The day chart is flat on the T line. You can see it here, and you can see the acceleration I'm seeing once. But look at here, there's a kind of a little expansion after coming up here. The best we can see for money flow is within 50 plus. For me, it's a good one for the stock, and this one is still entering the stock as we speak. On this note, I will say take because our time is spent. And also, we are very sorry I've started late because of what? Because of also the internet and also the platform we are using. See you on Wednesday as we look to see more economic data to discuss here in Nigerian market. We're looking to see the position manager for the month of August from Stanbic IBTC and also from Central Bank of Nigeria that we're going to know. And also we're looking to see inflation from 15th of September. On this note, I'll say bye.